let's get into the social media fan questions. First question comes from Faith Rogers. My lovely girlfriend, I had to put her first because she loves Phoenix. I was like, you want to come to the podcast? She's like, is Phoenix coming? No, I was like, okay, I'm good. She's like, I just want to meet the cat. So she says, how does Phoenix like to spend her time on the boat?
I think she's like a calico, so her personality is pretty just like chill. She loves to sleep, and she loves to like when I'm on the boat with her. I let her out at like in the evening. Well, I let her out in the daytime. It gets too warm outside, so she doesn't really. She just stays inside. But at night, she likes to come out and we walk around the dock sometimes, and which has become a bit of an issue because like she'll jump on another person's boat. And I'm not gonna like get on another person's boat, so I'm sitting there like trying to call her back, and that could be problematic. But I can't get. I spent like 3 years trying to walk her, and it is impossible. She'll spend if I try to put like a collar or a harness on her, she'll spend the whole time trying to get it off. So I just have to like walk her.
Okay.
Without one.
Right on. Next question comes from P Funk Love. Past podcast guest Paula Funga. She's one of like a huge musician here. Have you gotten any? Have you listened to any like local music yet?
Of some,
yeah,
but I can't. I'm really bad at like names and remembering things.
Paula Funga, you gotta check her out.
Cool.
She says, "What other Hawaiian islands do you plan to sail to, and how long will you stay in Hawaii?"
I want to sail to all the islands, and I'm still trying to figure out exactly how long I'm going to stay in Hawaii because obviously it all comes down to the weather windows. And from what I can tell, it seems like the end of March will be when I leave because I got to. There's cyclone season here.
So you
yeah, I'll be here for a while.
Oh, for like a year?
Yeah, 10 months, I think.
Oh, yeah. Well, our new resident here.
Yeah. So I plan on spending time at all the islands. I've got to do a lot of work to the boat. But yeah, so I'm still working on. So it's not a definitive time. Like it's complicated to try and figure out. Everyone has a different. Idea of when the appropriate time to cross is, and so I'm just still working on that. But it sounds like the end of March.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, that's cool that you're gonna be here. So people might see him out in the island.
Yeah, I mean, I could leave within the next 3 months, but it would have to be within the next 3 months.
Yeah, if not,
and so I'm in no rush to sail around the world. You know what I mean? So Hawaii is somewhere where I don't need there's no visa issues and stuff. So if I'm happy to spend 10 months here and kind of enjoy life a bit.
Yeah.
And then move on.
All on your boat?
Yeah, I live on my boat. Yeah, so it's home. Yeah.
Cool. What was I gonna say? I was gonna ask something about you sailing. I forget, maybe it'll come back to me after. All right. Next question comes from Yo_Brian. This person says, ultimate goal in life other than sailing around the world.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
No, that is the goal.
Yeah, I was like, I literally, I guess I wanted to mention this too. Like when I the thing where I got experienced a lot of freedom was like when I came to terms with being poor for the rest of my life and dying poor. That's what gave me freedom, and so that once I made that, I accepted that. And so I'm still in a way in the same mindset. It's like that's it. I'm just gonna, I don't have any big grand. I don't need I just want to sail around the world, and then when I'm done with that, I'll probably do it again. Or I'll go to places that I really liked.
Yeah. Life is simple.
Yeah. It is simple.
You don't need much.
Less is more.
Exactly. I mean. That's what the perspective you have of living in other countries and seeing poverty.
Yeah, right.
But I'm just even running water is such a luxury that we have, Like when I remember watching a video, you're like, oh yeah, I've been a couple days or weeks without showering. What was your longest time you went without showering?
Oh yeah, 2 weeks I think.
Okay, mine's just 10 days when I was in the Peace Corps. Yeah, because we take bucket baths. Yeah, so you don't always wanna.
Yeah, well, 2 weeks without even a bucket bath.
Yeah,
it was 2 weeks.
Mine's just 10 days straight without nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's brutal, man. It's
but you just do a little rinse off.
And
add some water in your face.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question comes from Coco_Pinches. This person says, "How old is Phoenix, and how did you come to be her owner/dad?"
She found me in a dumpster at work. So that was 7 years ago. So she's 7, and somebody dumped a litter of kitties in our dumpster, and I saw her, and I never wanted a cat before. I never liked cats. And then I saw her, and I was like, we're gonna be, this is the best decision I ever made. She's like my best friend. So
Oh, so cool.
yeah.
And how did you come up with the name?
Phoenix. It's just she looks like a phoenix from Harry Potter, like her pattern, and also it's like she was reborn. You know what I mean? She went from the dumpster to living a good life. So I liked the concept of the phoenix being her name because she like embodies it.
It's a great name.
So and then it also like I named my boat after her for the same reasons. One, I love my cat, so I named my boat after her. But that boat to me is the same idea. I was reborn when I bought that boat.
From the ashes.
Yeah, from the ashes, and life is completely.
I love
different.
that. I got chicken skin thinking of that. Awesome. Also, if you're gonna be here, you gotta learn the local lingo. So chicken skin is like how we say goosebumps.
Yeah, I figured.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot more you'll learn.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot.
All right. Once you learn some pigeon words, you're gonna be really confused.
Yeah.
You're like, why are they saying choke food?
Yeah.
Do you know what that means?
Choke
is a lot.
A lot.
Yeah, not actually choke.
I've had people coach me like, "You're a hammer."
Yeah, hammer.
Hammer. Is that what it is?
Yeah. Hammer is just like a beast. Like,
yeah.
God, Oliver, this guy just sailed across the ocean. That's one hammer.
Yeah, it's sweet.
All right. Next question comes from Aaron M343. This person says, "Do you use any wristband or a patch or do you use any wristband or patch for seasickness? What is the secret?"
There is no secret. Like seasickness gets anybody at any time, and it's random. And I did take for the first 5 days. I took seasickness pills, and but the problem with it is it like makes you super drowsy. So I stopped taking it, and then I battled seasickness most of the time. But I figured out that it was like self-induced for some of it because like there was the morning when I would get seasick, I made a connection. It was the mornings that I would drink coffee and not eat anything other than like a piece of chocolate. And then those days I would get like seasick. And so I changed my pattern and I would wake up, stop drinking coffee, and I would just put a reasonable amount of food in my body and then I would be fine. But it happens to anybody at any time. There's, it's one of those things where there's no way to like, it just happens sometimes randomly. And then some people get it, like I never got like, immobilized, seasickness. Like I was like, I never threw up, but I was like always, felt really sick and nauseous. But some people get it so bad, like that can also be a detriment to a solo sailor because if you get it so bad where you're like constantly throwing up, you're losing all your liquids, and you're alone, and when the boat needs to be managed, you can't manage the boat because you can't get out of bed. And that could be a problem for sure.
Wow. So all these other factors that us as normal people don't even think of, right? All right. Next question comes from D Aldrin. This person says, "What was your least favorite recurring thought you would have on your journey?"
So when I went viral, I literally was like, dude, it was like a problem. Like I literally was like, I don't know what it's called, but like when something really good happens, something really bad happens. So like this was like like a dream. You know what I mean? That happening was like a dream. And so I literally was like, well, I'm gonna like die. So the whole time I'm like, dude, I was paranoid that I'm gonna like die.
Like Final Destination.
Yeah. I'm like gonna fall. The whole time I was like, dude, I'm just gonna clip in all like in my head before I would leave the cockpit. It was like I would like on repeat, like clip in. Like I'm not dying. You know what I mean? And but yeah, that was the thing that was like obsessively on my mind because like yeah.
Yeah. It's normal thoughts.
Yeah.
All right. Next question comes from Beach_Pebble. This person says, "Are you happy?"
Yeah. Like I'm a normal person, so like I have doubts and I have bad days and I have worries and I have stresses and sometimes I allow too much of it in. But then, like, I always try and like think back to where I was, and it was like, dude, I'm very happy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm loving my life. I've got the coolest life in the world. And I just all it takes is just a quick reminder to think of like how bad it can get, how miserable, how depressed you can get, and dude, I'm in like I look around and it's like, dude, I'm in Hawaii. I sailed to Hawaii, and So yeah, I am happy, but I am human, so I do have unhappy moments for sure.
Yeah. Now that you're here, man, I gotta get you on some real good stuff here. Like,
Yeah.
you talk about like early on about like you're depressed and all of that and whatever. There's just one thing that I do called Brain Health Hawaii, where basically they do a brain map of your brain and they see like what's firing and what's not. They can see past concussions. A lot of athletes go to it, and so you go for these daily touch-ups, and it like starts firing like different parts of your brain to make you like more optimal.
Yeah.
And it helps with sleep as well. Like I was diagnosed with, I did a sleep test, stuff like that. So super cool.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to check out. Yeah.
Cairo, massage, like, yeah, we're gonna take care of you while you're here.
Yeah, cool.
All right. Next question comes from this Dessert Tray 5. This person says, "What will you do differently on your other long voyages that you wish you did coming to Hawaii?"
More food. Bring way more food. Like I thought I brought a lot of food, but clearly I didn't. I've had plenty of food, but I didn't bring enough easy food to eat. You know what I mean? Because the boat rocks so much, it gets so crazy. Half the time you don't want to cook, or you can't cook. And I ran out of all my quick food, all my easy food really quickly. And so all I had left was like food that I had to cook. And then at one point I fell and I hit my gimbaled stove.
Oh, yeah.
And it bent it. So like the stove, it gimbals so you can cook as the boat rocks. But it would gimbal and then get stuck. The boat would rock the other way and it would stay stuck, and then it would release.
Oh.
And so like boiling water would get everywhere. And so at one point I was like, I literally was just getting like soup cans and the soup cans had mold all over them.
Oh, gosh.
And it, dude, it's brutal. And I had nothing good to eat, nothing at all. So I was getting these cold soup cans with mold all over them and just drinking them out of the can. And so that was brutal. I'll completely change the food plan.
I saw one day you tried to make a spam musubi.
Oh yeah,
or you ate some spam.
Yeah, I ate some spam.
Was that because you were coming to Hawaii? Did you know about the spam?
Yeah,
musubi
I knew about the spam.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's like an easy food. It's not like boiling water, so I could have the stove running and I just had to.
Yeah. Have you had spam musubi?
Yeah, I had. Yeah.
Okay, cool. There's some good.
Is there a place to get it?
Oh, 7-Eleven.
I know, but like, is that's your traditional?
No, there's like really good place.
Okay. I want to go to a really good place.
I got you.
Cool.
You gotta get out of Waikiki. You gotta go to the local mom.
Well, I got a car now, so
I'll hook you up. I'll hook you up.
Places. Cool.
Hawaii eats the most spam out of anywhere in the nation.
Oh, really?
But it's not made here. It's made in Minnesota.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, super random. Okay, next question comes from Hales 808. This person says, "Have you got to experience going to the lo'i or doing anything with Hawaiian people?" Lo'i is like a taro patch. Do you know what taro is? It's it's like a starch that we eat, like a potato, but like it's purple, and I'll show you after.
Yeah.
But basically, in Hawaiian culture, we have a connection to the taro plant because there's a story of it, how there's a stillborn child that was buried, and through that sprouted the first taro. So when we go to the lo'i, it's one of our staple foods. It's like a mud patch, and you can like work. So that's what she's talking about.
Yeah, I haven't done a whole lot just because like I've been trying to like, it's hard because like managing the boat is a lot of work, and it's. I want to see everything. So I'm just trying to find this balance of how I can start to see everything and still manage the boat and still post on social media but yeah, I do want to see. I mean, the goal is to see. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, I mean,
everything.
You're in no rush. You're here for a little
exactly.
bit at least. Yeah. Eventually he will. Yeah, I got a really good spot if you want to check it out.
I do.
When I came back from the Peace Corps, I used to volunteer there, and that was like very transformational for me.
Yeah, cool.
Just like to be, in earth and whatever.
Yeah,
so cool. And the people there are great. Have you tried Hawaiian food yet?
Yeah, it's good.
What like Hawaii food or Hawaiian food? Because there's a difference. What did you have?
It's Hawaiian food. I think it was Hawaiian.
Well, what was it?
It was like a plate with like, it had, short ribs.
Okay. Like a plate lunch. So that's Hawaii food.
Hawaii food.
Yeah. So Hawaiian food, like traditional Hawaiian food, is like lau, poi, kalua pig.
No, I haven't had.
Okay, yeah. So that's something like.
I love food too.
Yeah,
dude, I love food.
There's some good spots.
Yeah, all right.
I'll tell you.
Cool.
But that's the interesting.
I've been trying to find, dude. It's like it's hard to find like because I want to only eat like at cool places.
Well,
I love food, dude. Like
you got to connect.
Yeah, sweet.
I got you.
Cool.
Yeah. That's what you'll see more as you like stay here, is that how there's like this Hawaiian culture, and Hawaii is like so separate from the US. I mean,
Yeah.
well, even from our history of like being overthrown.
it's like
and
being in a different country.
It's
like it
totally
feels like being in a different
it's like
country.
really not the
Yeah.
US.
Yeah.
We have our own culture,
Yeah.
our own food, and a lot of misconceptions, of
Yeah.
like Hawaii food and Hawaiian food.
Yeah.
And I'll
Yeah, I
explain it
didn't
to you
know that.
after.
That's
There's a lot to
interesting.
be
Yeah.
educated
Yeah.
on, even with our Hawaiian language and
Yeah.
all of it. Yeah. So eventually you'll learn that. Okay. Next question comes from AA_Yana. This person says, shout out to you, Aaron. I know who that is. What was the number one thing holding you back from sailing to Hawaii, and how did you overcome it?
Just like fear, and like fear of like quitting my job, fear of the dangers with my neck, fear of the dangers of crossing an ocean, fear is the overall and like conquering my fears has been like the thing that's completely changed my life. Like just going through it, and just because this fear doesn't go away. The fear stays. If anything, once you've taken the leap, the fear increases. And but like it also like it's like a driving force as well, because once you cross that point of like no return, that's when it's like game on. You know what I mean? That's what I like tell people too. Is that there's like this point, if you're whatever it is you're trying to do, and whatever, like in my experience, there's a point, and that point was of no return was quitting my job, my career, and then liquidating my 401k. That is the point of no return. And as soon as you cross that point, it is game on. And that is so like if you're in, if somebody's trying to do something, whatever it is, it's just recognize the point of no return and cross it. That's the goal.
Yeah, there's so many beautiful things on the other side of fear. Yeah, and especially when we talk about like anxiety, that like feeling that we have, it's like it's all about stuff that hasn't even happened yet.
Yeah,
anxiety is this fear of the future.
Yeah, dude,
that's all it is.
That's so like the first time I tried to do this, the reason I couldn't do it is because I would think too far ahead. And what I learned was, so it's literally one step. What's the problem I have immediately in front of me? Well, at the time, the problem, I didn't have a boat. So, okay, nothing else matters. Get the boat. I got the boat. How do I live on the boat? You know what I mean? Like, so, how do I work on the boat? Okay, work on the boat. I don't know how to sail. Okay, learn how to sail. And then like you just focus on the immediate problem in front of you, face it, solve it, and then what's next? Face it, solve it, and then you just take it these little steps. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then sure, all of a sudden you'll be like in Hawaii. You know what I mean?
Exactly, as simple as that.
Yeah. So that's the way I had to approach it, was because, dude, everything was so. I'm like an idiot, dude. Like I am an idiot. Like I'm not smart. I'm not any of the things. But it was just one step at a time was how I was able to like manage it without psyching myself out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're smart enough to go on this path. So
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. And the cool thing about like anxiety and nervousness is like there's no physiological change in your body when you're excited and you're nervous. It comes from like that same part of your brain. So just flipping it, that's what worked for me. Instead of like, oh, I'm kind of nervous to do this. Oh, I'm so excited I get to do it. I'm so excited I get to quit my job and sail across the world. Like just flipping that perspective is a huge change.
Yeah.
Okay, last question comes from Madison. This person says, how do Oliver and Phoenix sleep? I need to know if they cuddle or sleep separate.
When it's cold, we cuddle. When it's warm, she sleeps separate. So
makes sense.
Now that I've got the AC on the boat, it's been awesome because I feel like I've missed my cat because it was been warm on the boat and she wasn't sleeping next to me. So now I've got the AC and it's super cold and it's intentionally cold so she can sleep next to me.
Okay, right on.
Yeah.
All right, mahalo everybody for the social media fan questions. Make sure you leave some for our next guest, and maybe your question will make it on the podcast. All right, we're coming to the back end of the podcast. I know you guys gotta head out here. Also, real quick before we get into these next questions, shout out to Skylar.
Yeah.
Because I know the people behind the scenes don't get enough credit for what they do. Yeah. And he's just been such a good friend to you. I mean, I seen him at the opening just running around, doing all the things, so that, you know, you didn't have to worry about that things because you had enough to worry about.
Yeah, no, he's handled everything. Yeah. So, like when I went viral, I knew I was like missing opportunity. I'm in the middle of the ocean, so I'm like, I can't like deal with it. And I've known him since like, I don't know, we were in like 8th grade. And for his career, he had done basically everything social media. So I just like, I went viral. I hit him up. I was like, dude, would you be able to help me? He was like, yep. And so yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, yeah. It's
that
fun
he
to
did
give
that.
him his
Yeah.
his flowers.
Yeah.
Okay.